Okay, it is 9:38 a.m. It is a Monday, and I had one trade here with ILUS, but I didn't really hold on to this one as well as I should have. I just did not get my full-sized position. I got a partial fill, so because of the fact that I didn't really get the amount of shares I wanted, I didn't really um, like trade it properly. I guess now in the future, if I have something like this again and I get a partial fill. I should just trade it accordingly to my plan, even if it's not the full size, and because that still would have been nice. A sell right now in the 13/8, which is at VWAP. Ideally, half my position, and then if it breaks under, for example, this 13/6 level, I would get out the other half. That's the way I've been, trying to trade these morning panic bounce plays, and this one worked out. Again, I just didn't get my full size position, and because I was partially focused, and trying to do the best I could. I kind of got out of it rather quickly. At 9:33, it might have been this time period. I tried to get 4,000 shares, which would have been more than what it was previously. My last trade that worked out with 3,000 shares. Again, right now I would have sold half at 13.8, and if it breaks under this 13.6 level, I'd be out the rest. And if we get a move past, I guess 14, I would be very interested in selling, maybe trying to draw a trend line if it offers an opportunity to do that. But I was in at 9:33 right here. At I guess it might have been in at 13.3 right here. 1,500 shares. Morning panic bounce play. It gets to the bottom. It kind of bounces, and then it kind of does this thing here where it kind of goes back and forth. And I got in at that price, and it might have been possible that I got out at 13.5 right here with my entry right here. Again, just not being in my full-sized position, so I got out of it. Now there's a big seller here at 14. I'm wondering if it's gonna maybe not uptrend much further past the range that it's in right now because it's a big seller. But if enough of people buy, it could do something. But I would be more interested in selling the other half while it's still in this range. If it doesn't seem like it's going to try to break 14 with that 100K seller at the ask. There was nothing really interesting with the other ones. Although HMBL kind of did a morning panic bounce play, I would just rather trade ILUS because it does it better. Very nice volume. And yeah, this one is weird the way it kind of did the thing, right? It was down, but the way it did it was kind of ugly. And it did offer a nice move, so that's cool. Maybe it had news or something, I don't know. And yeah, that's about it for right now. I'm just going to be watching ILUS to see what it can do. Yeah, I'd be interested in selling the other half. Maybe this one didn't, break much further past VWAP. It might still try to do it later, but the 100K seller is not nice. Okay, it is 9:48 a.m. To be honest, I would have never have traded this one if I didn't see an alert from Tim Sykes that he was in this setup, and um, I saw that he was in the setup. I saw what the setup was. A morning panic bounce play, not as ideal because this one is a listed stock and not an OTC. And some of these higher priced stocks, whether it be an OTC or a listed stock, they don't seem to work out as nicely, but I still traded it. And this one did not work out. I just lost 87 pennies, which isn't much, a small percent loss. And I was in, let me get rid of these older orders so that it will only show the ones for today. I was in at 706, and that was at 9:45 right here, thinking, okay, saying the same thing that Tim Sykes sees a potential morning panic. And my idea was getting out if it breaks under 7. I did not like the price action. It just looked horrible, when I got in it. But, it was a listed stock, so I knew it was going to look kind of ugly. And when it got to 9:47, I got out right here like a G, right here at 702 before it breaks the day low. And, it was just that it kept downtrending. People were dumping their shares at the bid. And then at 1.7 was at the bid. And, I treated it almost like if it was the day low. If it was going to look like it's going to break 7, I'm going to get out before it actually breaks it because then I'm not in with a panic, right? So I got out. I got a nice execution at 702 and a half. So again, just 4 pennies, 25 shares. It wasn't the largest position size. It just didn't work out once again. And maybe it's going to try to do the turnaround here, but I don't like trying again. I do every so often, like I did last week with ILUS, try again if it does another leg down, but it just gets to a point where I'm not really interested in it anymore because it just might be cursed and it might just keep downtrending, kind of like the way pets and dogs, those two listed stocks, they just had a huge panic and they just like never really came back. I've been looking at ILUS a little bit. I would be interested in maybe like for a breakout past 14. The only issue is that there's still large sellers on the ask, but if that wasn't there, I'd probably be interested in getting in at maybe 13.8, risking 13.6. But that's not really the case, although it can do it without me. That's all I have for the moment, just 2 trades, and I did make not much. I think I made like $3. Even a sell right now would have been higher than my exit, just because I was just thrown off because I didn't get my entire size. But again, in the future, if I'm in that situation again, I just need to trade it accordingly, even if I didn't get my full size. So yeah, I'll make an update later to see what these things do. Okay, it is 10:06. I did try one more time with Dave, but I just wanted to get the training experience honestly, and I didn't even hold on to this one that nicely. But in theory, this thing eventually did a turnaround right here. Just looking at this trend line, I drew another one that looks like it was following the overall chart pattern, and when it broke it through, I was waiting for it to see if maybe it would just break it and then, consolidate and then downtrend and then break the day low or something like that. But no, this one decided to hold the trend line, and it's still doing it, as you can see. And if you can see right here, I only bought 1 share. I just wanted to get the trading experience, honestly, because I knew, this thing can be cursed. I tried it here, it didn't work, and then I mentioned that, you might try again, but then it keeps failing, and right, so it just continued to downtrend, and it's a good thing I didn't paper cut myself all the way down, and I just wanted to just, trade 1 share, and I drew a trend line again. This is going to be horrible for my weekly stats because I traded such a small position size. I'd be selling right here because it just broke under this trend line. And sure, it can continue the uptrend, but I just want a nice, easy sell, stress-free, and ideally it can put up a higher low, higher than this level right here, and then it can continue, maybe get to VWAP or break through it. But I would be out of it completely at this point right here. That's the way I would do it if I had more than 1 share if I was trading. 25 shares, for example, and I was in at 10:05, 1 share, one puny share. Right here at some 628. So right here was my entry. Really good entry. Very happy with my entry. Again, just 1 share because I didn't want to be in the situation where I tried it here, it failed, and then I try it one more time, and then that one fails, and I'm just like, oh, that was dumb. I sold. It looks like I only held this thing for a minute, and yeah, I didn't sell the best. I could have, followed the trend line, so it's probably better that I only traded 1 share, but I got out at 10:06. Right here at some 640, right here was my exit. I could still be, you know, um, at the point where I would have sold at when it broke under this at 643. A small difference, but I would have exposed myself to more possibility that it will uptrend. I like this. It broke under the trend line, and now it might be following it on the underside, or maybe it'll actually try to regain itself. I haven't seen that in a while, but um, that's cool. Now it's at 660. Although I would have been, out in the 640s very happily, just to play it safe and, as stress free as possible. As for the other ones, I have not seen this. This is actually breaking a day low. Maybe if it held 13, I would have considered it for a double bottom, but that doesn't seem to be the case. ILUS just keeps downtrending. Lots of sellers at the ask. I'll be watching ILUS, but that was just a small trade there with Dave right there. And in theory, I didn't sell that thing the best I could have. I should have, held longer and sold right here at 10:08, which was 2 minutes, I guess a minute and 20 seconds after my sell. I just want to make a quick update. I just find it funny that the first one I tried here, it was because I saw Tim's alert and I saw the pattern, the same idea he probably saw, and I was interested in it for that reason. If he didn't have an alert, I would have never have traded it, but it seems like he actually traded the same thing I traded. So this time I traded because it was my own setup. It wasn't because I saw him and then I saw the same setup and I was in. I saw it myself this time, and he was in right here at, I don't know how, I mean, I guess because maybe it's trying to do a level two reversal, but getting in at 611 at 1001 just seems crazy. I would have been more interested again getting in the 620s with more confirmation that it might try to turn around. Not a guarantee, just more confirmation. But he got in it right there. You know, um, I would have been interested in the 620s after it broke the trend line. I just find that interesting. I just wanted to add that. The second trade wasn't because Tim was in. I was in it because I saw the setup. But I definitely got in this first part because he mentioned it and I saw the same setup, so I was in it too for that reason. I just want to record this at 10:29. Who did that? Sometimes it's just a glitch in the charts, right? But somebody actually just did that. I don't know what broker they're using. They're using some random freaking broker, but they just got destroyed. What in the world? This is why you don't buy stocks with a freaking market order. That is crazy. That is so crazy. This might have been real too. Just a reminder to anybody who watches these videos why you shouldn't buy with a market order, or at least at a time like this when the volume isn't really doing anything. I guess it could make sense to try to market order so you get a guaranteed entry for a morning panic bounce play, but even at that point it just doesn't seem right. You just place a market order, at the ask or maybe slightly above the ask if you feel like you might not get it if it's like a momentum turn, but that actually was real. Like sometimes I just think it's a glitch in the chart. Some idiot actually just lost. What is this? 14.5, and now it's at. That is crazy. Somebody just lost 8%. Easily. Easily 8%. Just trading that. And I bet they had to pay for commissions too. That is crazy. Wow, I can't believe I just saw that. That's about it. As for Dave, this one, yeah, it's just looking sketchy. I've seen stuff like this not work out. I'm not saying this one won't work out, but I'm not interested in trading it. I'm very happy with my try there because it broke the trend line of this overall downtrend. And I gave myself some criticism for not selling right here when it broke under the trend line, but I also need to remember the idea that when I got out here at actually no, right here at 7, '02, because it looked like it was gonna break the day low. Look how bad and fierce this candle was immediately in the 670s. So I probably had that fear that if it breaks the trend line, it's gonna flash a big red candle, and maybe that's just something I can get better with more experience. But I actually traded this one pretty well. I just wish I had more shares, but my confidence was a lot less because I tried once and it failed. So yeah, I'll make an update later or maybe at the market close. I don't see anything right now that I want to trade. This one was nice. How it uptrended and then it came back. Like what I would have considered with ILUS if it did it. This bottom and then. If it tried to have held it right here instead of breaking under it, I would have considered it a little, but this one would have been more ideal because it's uptrending if you look at a daily chart. And this one offered a nice move. I just wasn't really there for that one at all. Pretty impressive move towards the upside, and HNBL is still trying to uptrend. That's pretty nice. Very similar to my trade on Friday if I would have taken it right here at the highs, but I guess the ideal thing is to just try higher lows on an uptrending stock like this around VWAP. That wasn't bad at all. I never considered JPEX today because of the volume. Yeah, that's all I have for right now. I'll make an update later. That was pretty crazy. Alright, it is 4:45 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I am up $2.20, which is absolutely nothing, and that really stinks. And doesn't feel good at all, but I want to at least feel like I learned more than $2.20 worth of valuable lessons trading today, and that was with, oh, now I see where that noise came from. I was logged out of Schwab because of inactivity. Okay, so just to summarize very briefly, ILUS was that morning panic bounce play, and in the future, if I'm in the situation where I'm in that setup, I just got a partial fill, I need to take it seriously just like any other trade, and that would have been really helpful. In fact, if you look at my spreadsheets here, if I were to have sold, which would have been very easy at 13.8, even with my partial fill, that would have been a nice percent gain, and that would have been $7.40 compared to just under $3, and that would have, been a lot nicer. And best case scenario, 4,000 shares, and I sold at 13.8. That would have been a nice $20 day, but I at least didn't, lose on it, or have done something really dumb. But in the future, once again, if I just get in a morning panic bounce play and it doesn't work out, I just need to, still take it seriously, even if it's a partial position, and, just learn from that. And as for Dave, just a nice attempt here. It didn't work out, and I did try this, and it did work out. In theory, if I traded 25 shares, I would have made $3, and that would have been a $7 risk reward. Not risk reward, but a $7 max amount of money that I would have lost if it were to have broken $7, and I would have gone out at 6. Actually, no, I did that wrong. Worst case scenario, when I got in the 620s, it breaks 6 and I get a crappy sell. I sell at 6, I would have lost $7, and that would have been pretty cool. But very happy that the second one worked, and I did try at least there. Good experience trading that. Just another scratch that didn't work out. Just learning how to trade those. And ILUS did do this nice move here. I wouldn't have really been interested in it. Maybe a little because the volume was there, but this was a nice uptrend, and it just sold off completely. HMBL was also nice in that it was uptrending, but I was never really in at a point where I could have been positioned to be a part of it, except for these two right here. But at that point, I didn't like the double top here, and it looks like it failed. This one was super nice. Maybe I can have a third green day tomorrow, and then after that, this can be an ideal candidate for a morning panic bounce play. That would be nice. Yeah, just one more time. If I'm in a partial position, and I hope you guys can learn from this too, if you're in a partial position, just still take it seriously, even if it's like one share, like I traded with DAVE. Just take it seriously. If anything, you can learn from that trading experience that can be applied in the future with an actual position size, and I think that will help greatly. That's all I have for today.